Hello everybody! Today, we're stepping into the mysterious world of Slavic mythology, a place filled with dark legends, ancient spirits, and mythical creatures. If you're ready for spine-chilling stories and ancient lore, stick around. Leshy. The Leshy, a forest spirit, is deeply rooted in the mythology of Eastern Slavic countries like Russia and Belarus. Described as a tall human-like creature, the Leshy can change his size from that of a towering tree to a blade of grass, with pale skin, a long beard made of living moss, and eyes as bright as the greenest leaves. Some tales claim his hair is made of tangled branches, and he has a deep, booming voice that echoes through the woods. Leshy legends likely originated as early agricultural communities sought to explain the mysterious, often dangerous nature of deep forests. As a guardian of the wild, the Leshy protects animals and trees, punishing those who harm the forest or disrespect nature. Travelers who lose their way in the woods are often said to have angered the Leshy, who delights in leading humans astray with confusing paths and eerie whispers. Drekavac. The Drekavac hails from Serbian and Bosnian folklore, known as a terrifying creature born from the restless souls of unbaptized children. It is often described as a thin, skeletal figure with long claws, glowing eyes, and a voice that echoes like a tormented scream through the night. Some variations depict it as a monstrous dog, or even a child with a grotesquely elongated neck. The legend of the Drekavac likely originated as a warning against the dangers of neglecting traditional burial rites. This creature is said to prowl the dark forests and graveyards, bringing sickness or misfortune to those who encounter its wailing cries. Koschei the Deathless. Koschei the Deathless, also known as Koschei the Immortal, is a menacing figure from Russian and Polish mythology. Often described as a skeletal, ancient man with a gaunt face and eyes that burn with cruel intelligence, he is impossible to kill because his soul is hidden away in a series of nested objects, typically inside a needle, which is in an egg, within a dog, inside a hare, locked in an iron chest, buried beneath a tree, or hidden on a faraway island. This complex chain of protection makes him one of the most feared figures in Slavic myth. The origins of Koschei's legend likely stem from ancient fears of death and the desire for immortality, reflecting the human struggle against the inevitable. Koschei is often portrayed as a kidnapper of beautiful women, keeping them locked away in his castle, while their heroic lovers embark on dangerous quests to defeat him. The Vodyanoy. The Vodyanoy is a powerful water spirit found in the folklore of Russia, Poland, and the Czech Republic. Usually depicted as an old frog-like man with a slimy green beard, long hair filled with algae, and a body covered in muck and scales, he sometimes has glowing red eyes that peer from beneath the water's surface. The Vodyanoy's origins can be traced back to early beliefs in river and lake deities, reflecting the dangerous, unpredictable nature of water. As the ruler of his underwater realm, the Vodyanoy guards his domain fiercely, dragging those who disrespect his waters to the depths, where they serve him as ghostly slaves. Fishermen and millers often made offerings to the Vodyanoy to gain his favor and avoid his wrath. Domovoi. Found across Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, the Domovoi is a household spirit deeply ingrained in Slavic folklore. Typically depicted as a small, hairy, bearded figure, often covered in soot or ash, the Domovoi can resemble the family's patriarch, reflecting the strong connection between these spirits and the households they protect. The Domovoi's origins trace back to ancient ancestor worship, where families believed their deceased forebears continued to watch over their homes. These spirits act as guardians of the hearth, ensuring the prosperity and well-being of the household. However, they can become mischievous or even hostile if disrespected, knocking over pots, tangling threads, or hiding small objects to express their displeasure. Strzyga. The Strzyga is a fearsome, undead creature from Polish and Slavic folklore, often linked to the idea of vampirism. Typically described as having 2 hearts, 2 souls, and 2 sets of teeth, the Strzyga appears as a twisted, pale figure with sharp claws and a ravenous hunger for human flesh. According to legend, those born with such physical abnormalities were feared to become Strzyga upon death, returning from the grave to prey on the living. These creatures hunt at night, draining their victims of life, before retreating to their graves at dawn. The Strzyga embodies ancient fears of the undead and the unknown, serving as a dark reminder of the thin boundary between life and death. Zmey Gorynych. Zmey Gorynych is a fearsome dragon from Russian and East Slavic mythology. Usually depicted as a massive three-headed serpent with scales as hard as iron and fiery breath, capable of scorching entire villages, this monster is among the most iconic creatures of Slavic legend. The Zmey Gorynich's origins likely trace back to ancient stories of chaos and destruction, serving as a symbol of untamed power and raw elemental force. It often serves as the ultimate antagonist in Russian epic tales, defeated by brave heroes like Dobrynya Nikitich in legendary battles. Nav. The Nav or Navi are the restless spirits of the dead found in Slavic mythology, particularly in Russia, Ukraine, and Poland. Described as ghostly, shadow-like figures with hollow eyes and twisted limbs, they are said to haunt the places where they died or were buried without proper rites. The Nave represent the souls of those who died violently or without proper burial, forever trapped between the worlds of the living and the dead. They bring misfortune and disease to those they encounter, serving as a reminder of the importance of honoring the dead and respecting burial traditions. Likho. Likho is a malevolent spirit found particularly in Russian and Ukrainian traditions. It is often depicted as a gaunt one-eyed figure, shrouded in darkness, with long bony fingers and a sinister grin. Likho embodies bad luck and misfortune, bringing ruin to those who cross its path. Its origins are deeply tied to the harsh realities of life, acting as a symbol of the inevitable hardships and suffering that all must endure. In stories, it punishes the greedy and the foolish, often appearing when least expected to claim its due. Poludnitsa. Poludnitsa, or Lady Midday, is a spirit particularly popular in the folklore of Poland and Russia. She is usually described as a tall, beautiful woman dressed in white, her hair flowing like golden wheat in the wind. Though she can also appear as an old crone depending on her mood. Poludnitsa is said to wander the fields at noon, punishing those who work during the hottest part of the day, striking them with heat stroke or madness. Her origins likely lie in agricultural rituals, reflecting the dangerous heat and exhaustion of summer fieldwork. Kikimora. The Kikimora is a household spirit found in Russian and Eastern Slavic folklore. Typically depicted as a small, haggard woman with long, tangled hair and a tattered dress, she often emerges from the cracks in walls or from the shadows beneath the floorboards. Kikimoras are known to haunt neglected homes, causing chaos and mischief. They can be either helpful or harmful, depending on how well a household is maintained, reflecting the importance of domestic order in traditional Slavic life. The Upyr. The Upyr is one of the earliest known vampire-like creatures in Slavic folklore, primarily associated with Ukrainian, Russian, and Polish myths. It is typically depicted as a reanimated corpse with pale skin, sharp fangs, and a thirst for human blood. Unlike its later Western European counterparts, the Upyr was known for being active during the day as well as night, making it particularly fearsome. Its origins likely trace back to ancient burial practices and fears of the restless dead. The Upyr is said to rise from the grave to drain the life from its victims, representing the fear of death and the unknown. Alkonost. The Alkonost is a mystical bird woman from Russian and East Slavic folklore, known for her enchanting song. She is typically depicted as a beautiful woman with the body of a brightly coloured bird, her wings shimmering like the morning sun. According to legend, her voice is so beautiful that it can make anyone who hears it forget all earthly concerns, losing themselves in a blissful trance. The Alkonost's origins likely come from early pagan nature worship, embodying the mysterious and often unpredictable power of the natural world. Though generally considered a positive figure, her song can also be a harbinger of doom if heard by the wrong ears, reflecting the dual nature of beauty and destruction in Slavic mythology. Mavka. Mavka, found in Ukrainian folklore, is a type of forest nymph with deep ties to nature. Typically depicted as a strikingly beautiful young woman with long, flowing hair, often dressed in white, her feet sometimes lacking shadows, reflecting her ghostly nature. Mavkas are said to be the spirits of women who died tragically young or those who died unbaptized. They are known to lure young men into the forest with their enchanting beauty and songs, only to lead them to their doom. Mavkas embody the mystery and danger of the untamed wilderness, serving as both protectors of the forest and spirits of vengeance. Bannik. The Bannik is a bathhouse spirit in Russian and Eastern Slavic folklore. Usually described as a small, elderly figure with rough, bark-like skin and long, tangled hair, the Bannik is a guardian of the bathhouse, one of the most sacred spaces in Slavic households. This spirit demands respect and privacy, punishing those who enter the bathhouse without proper rituals or who misuse its sacred space. The Bannik can be either protective or malevolent, depending on how it is treated, reflecting the dual nature of cleansing and danger associated with the bathhouse. Mora. The Mora is a nightmarish spirit found in the folklore of Poland, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic. Often described as a shadowy, ghost-like figure, or sometimes as a beautiful but deadly young woman, she is known for sitting on the chests of sleepers, suffocating them and feeding on their fear. The Mora is believed to be the restless soul of a living person, often a witch or a person born with certain physical traits. This creature embodies the fears of sleep paralysis and night terrors, reflecting the deep anxieties surrounding the vulnerability of sleep. Chort. The Chort is a mischievous and often malevolent demon from Slavic mythology, particularly prominent in Russian and Ukrainian tales. Typically depicted as a small horned figure with cloven hooves, a long tail, and sharp claws, the Chort embodies chaos and wickedness. It is said to cause trouble for humans, tempting them to sin and leading them astray. The Chort's origins likely trace back to ancient Slavic beliefs in nature spirits, later adapted into more demonic forms with the spread of Christianity. Rarog. Rarog is a powerful fire spirit found in Polish and Czech mythology. Typically depicted as a small fiery whirlwind or a majestic, red-feathered falcon with blazing eyes, the Rarog embodies the raw, untamed energy of fire and wind. Legends often associate it with the destructive power of storms and the cleansing force of flames, reflecting the dual nature of fire as both a life-giving and life-taking force. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is one of the most infamous figures in Slavic folklore, with roots stretching across Russia, Ukraine, and Poland. Known as a fearsome witch, she is often depicted as a frail, elderly woman with iron teeth, wild hair, and bony legs. Legends describe her as flying through the forest in a mortar, wielding a pestle and sweeping away her tracks with a broom made of silver birch. The origins of Baba Yaga likely trace back to ancient nature spirits or goddesses associated with death and rebirth, reflecting the harsh, unpredictable forces of nature. She lives in a hut that stands on giant chicken legs, constantly spinning to face visitors, and is surrounded by a fence made of human bones. Baba Yaga's role is complex. Sometimes she appears as a terrifying antagonist, devouring those who cross her path, while at other times she acts as a harsh but wise mentor, testing the bravery and cleverness of heroes. Viesczy. Viesczy is a vampiric creature from Polish folklore, similar in many ways to the Upyr. Often depicted as a pale, gaunt figure with sharp teeth and glowing, predatory eyes, it preys on the living to sustain itself. It is said to rise from the graves of those who led particularly wicked lives or died with unresolved grudges. Like other Slavic vampires, it must be destroyed through traditional methods, such as a stake through the heart or decapitation. Karzełek. Karzełek, also known as a dwarf or dome in Polish folklore, is a small, mischievous creature known for its cunning and craftiness. Typically depicted as a short, bearded figure with a pointed cap, Karzełek is often found dwelling in mines or caves, where it hoards precious metals and gems. Despite their small stature, they are known to possess great strength and magical abilities, reflecting the importance of the underground world in ancient Slavic beliefs. Rusalka. Rusalki are mysterious, often tragic water spirits found in the folk tales of Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. They are usually depicted as beautiful young women with long flowing hair and pale skin, their eyes as deep and cold as the waters they inhabit. These creatures are believed to be the restless spirits of women who died violently, often by drowning, or who were betrayed by lovers. The legend of the Rusalka likely grew from ancient fertility rites and water worship, transforming over time into a darker, more menacing presence. Rusalki lure unsuspecting men to their watery graves with their enchanting voices and captivating dances, serving as both symbols of untamed nature and the dangerous, unpredictable power of water. Bolotnik. The Bolotnik is a lesser-known water spirit found in the swamps and marshes of Russian and Eastern Slavic folklore, typically depicted as a bloated, sluggish figure with muddy, algae-covered skin and long slimy hair that blends seamlessly with the murky waters he inhabits. Unlike the more aggressive Vodyanoy, the Bolotnik is said to be more patient, preferring to pull unsuspecting travelers and animals into the depths of the swamp rather than pursue them directly. His origins likely reflect the dangerous, unpredictable nature of wetlands, which have long been associated with death, decay, and the unknown. The Bolotnik serves as a guardian of these liminal spaces, embodying the fear and respect that humans have historically felt for the mysterious and often treacherous marshlands. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the shadows of forgotten Slavic folklore and ancient mysteries. If you enjoyed this dive into the darker side of these timeless legends, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales from the past. Yours truly, Mythos, the Historian.